We'll go ahead and get started. You have 3 minutes for your opening statement.
Thank you. I'd like to thank the Home Builders Association, of course, for having all of us here. It's nice to see such a great turnout. I'm Teresa Lawrence. I'm running for House District 174. I'd like to start off, tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a wife. I'm a mom. I have 4 children. I have a 16-year-old daughter that has gone through the Lowndes County school system since about 5th grade. She's a junior at Lowndes High School right now. And I have 3 little boys, Jacob, AJ, and Alex, and they are 1, 3, and 4. So they keep me busy at home. I'm also a student at VSU. I'm pursuing a degree in business management. This is my first time ever running for public office, and I want you all to know that I'm really excited about this opportunity to represent South Georgia in Atlanta. I have a strong work ethic, and excuse me, I get so nervous. I have honest values and a fair nature, and I think those qualities are going to be great to bring the voice of South Georgia up to Atlanta. I offer a fresh new perspective, a different set of eyes, and I think that's really needed to help our state move forward. My goal is to make sure that everyone's voice is heard in Atlanta and that all of our needs are met. If elected as your representative, I will work diligently to be your representative, a people's person. I plan on working to get all of our schools at the level that we can educate students that are eligible for the Hope Scholarship. There's a lot of changes made to the graduation requirements, and there's going to be some changes that need to be made in order to make sure that everyone qualifies. Our graduation rate also in the area is a lot lower than we had originally thought, and that's just not acceptable. That's too low, and we need to work on that. The school system needs to work a lot harder to make sure that our students want to stay in school and ultimately graduate ready to go to college. As a mom of small children, pre-K is also very important to me. We need to make sure that the lottery, we're maximizing that funding for pre-K programs. A passion for learning is something that starts early on, and I see it in my little kids that they love to learn. They come home and they can write their name and they're so excited. And that's something that's going to stay with them all the way through to graduation, and I think it's really important that we get them started early liking school so they stay all the way to graduation. I'd also like to work with farmers and legislators to come up with some sort of resolution for this migrant worker issue. The farms are very important to South Georgia, and thank you. And we need to make sure that they're properly staffed. The state needs to make sure that all those crops in those fields get picked. That's very important. I would also like to make sure that women's health decisions are brought back to them and put into their hands. That's something that's very important to me as well as a woman. I think that my body is my own and I'll make those choices. Thank you. And finally, one thing I don't plan on doing is turning my back on those that vote for and support me throughout this election season.
Thank you, Teresa. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
But that's okay, because you're going to be able to, with our questions, to touch on a lot of the topics which you mentioned in your opening statements. Again, you have a 1-minute response time for the questions. Let's start off, what ideas can be implemented at the state level to help bolster South Georgia in a stagnant economy, to help bring more industry and more jobs to our region?
Not to sound like I'm copying Dexter, but education I think is very important. You can ask all the companies and businesses that you want to move down here and give them all these great incentives, but if they don't have a workforce that's ready to get into those jobs and work for that company, then they're not going to come down here. So I think education is very key in making sure that we have a ready workforce.
Thank you very much. Also, our second question is also about education, and we had this question submitted, we had it on our list as well. 2 big educational issues have garnered a lot of attention statewide: the future of the Hope Scholarship, which you talked about, and also the proposed charter school amendment to the state constitution. What are your thoughts on both of those issues?
As far as the Hope Scholarship goes, I think one of the things to help kind of rein it in, because it seems to have gotten bigger than its britches, is to go back to the income cap. I think originally it was intended to be for students that just needed that little leg up to get into school. They're decent students, they're maybe not in the valedictorian, but they're students and they want to go to college. And without that funding from the Hope Scholarship, they're not going to be able to attend. And as far as charter schools, I feel that we need to keep that decision locally. I don't think the state needs to decide if we need a charter school.
Thank you very much. Another question that refers to something that you referred to in your opening statement. Georgia farmers faced a big crisis when immigration reform was passed at the state level. What can be done and what should be done to make sure that our region's farmers can continue to prosper when it comes to finding employable workers?
I think that the migrant workers are a decent solution if we can come up with some way. I don't think that just because someone crosses the border into the U.S. that they should be, granted citizenship and free reign, but I think there needs to be some kind of middle ground where we can say, okay, you're doing something for us, so we can do something for you. There needs to be some give and take, I think. It's not just close the doors and say, go away, we'll try and figure it out, because it's not working.
Thank you very much. Finally, our last question for you. Why are you the best candidate to serve the citizens of District 174? Which, by the way, I will tell you very quickly, is a huge district. It's Lowndes County, goes all the way to Camden County with the new regional district, so it encompasses quite a large area. So why would you be the best candidate to serve those citizens?
I think that I'm the best candidate because I can relate to people. I'm a regular person. I'm one of everyone else. I go to school here, I work here, I have the everyday struggles that everyone has, and I think that that's what we need, is someone who's just like you to go up there and say, this is what we need. It's not someone fighting for you, it's someone fighting with you. I mean, these things that we need change on here are things that I need change for my family. So it's not, you're hoping that someone's going to go up there and make things better for you. I'm fighting because I need those things as well.
Thank you. You have 1 minute for closing comments.
Just thank you for having us, and I really hope that everyone comes and turns out to the poll. We've had a good starting in the election, and I would like everyone to come out and vote for me, Teresa Lawrence, for House District 174. Thank you.
Thank you, Teresa.